others. Bharathidasan University has noted professors with world over recognition. At least half a dozen of our professors are members of the FRS, Fellow of Royal Society recognition. One of the students, Ms. Smita Krishnan, had been among the top 22 game changers of digital games for peace challenge under the UNESCO. One of our ORC, NSS, NCC, sports are all known for their great commitment to field action. To this, today's function is a crowning jewel, courtesy Honorable Prime Minister. Once again, I accord profound welcome to the Honorable PM and all. Thank you.
We request the Honorable Governor Chancellor to declare the convocation open.
This convocation of Bharathidasan University has been called on to confer the degrees of engineering and technology, science, commerce, education, arts, Indian and other languages, management and fine arts upon the candidates who in the examinations recently held for the purpose have been certified to be worthy of the same.
We request the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu to address the gathering.
Before I start my speech, let me first extend my New Year wishes to our Honorable Prime Minister and welcome him on behalf of the people of Tamil Nadu. பட்டமளிப்பு விழா நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு முதன்மை விருந்தினராக வருகை தந்து சிறப்பித்திருக்கக்கூடிய மாண்புமிகு பாரத பிரதமர் திரு நரேந்திர மோடி அவர்களே, மாண்புமிகு தமிழ்நாடு ஆளுநர் திரு ஆர்.என். ரவி அவர்களே, மாண்புமிகு அமைச்சர் பெருமக்களே, நாடாளுமன்ற சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர்களே, மேயர் உள்ளிட்ட உள்ளாட்சி பிரதிநிதிகளே, மாவட்ட ஆட்சியர் உள்ளிட்ட அரசு உயர் அலுவலர்களே, துணைவேந்தர் பேராசிரியர் செல்வம் அவர்களே, பேராசிரியர் பெருமக்களே, என் அன்பிற்கினிய மாணவ கண்மணிகளே, பத்திரிகை மற்றும் ஊடகத்துறையை சார்ந்திருக்கக்கூடிய நண்பர்களே, அனைவருக்கும் இனிய புத்தாண்டு வாழ்த்துக்கள். காலை வணக்கம். எங்கள் வாழ்வும் எங்கள் வளமும் மங்காத தமிழென்று சங்கே முழங்கு என்று திராவிட கொள்கையை தமிழ்நிலத்தில் முழங்கிய புரட்சி கவிஞர் பாரதிதாசன் பெயரால் அமைந்துள்ள பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவில் கலந்து கொள்வதில் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். மாண்புமிகு இந்திய பிரதமர் அவர்கள் இந்த பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவில் கலந்து கொண்டு சிறப்பித்தமைக்காக எனது மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்தியாவிலேயே உயர்கல்வியில் சிறந்து விளங்கும் மாநிலம் தமிழ்நாடு. கல்வியில் சிறந்த என்ற எந்த பட்டியல் எடுத்தாலும் அதில் தமிழ்நாட்டு கல்வி நிறுவனங்கள் தான் அதிகமாக இடம்பெற்றிருக்கும். 100 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்னாடி நீதி கட்சி ஆட்சி காலத்தில் கல்விக்காக போடப்பட்ட விதை தான் இன்னைக்கு வளர்ந்து கல்வியை சிறந்த மாநிலமாக நாம் உயர்ந்து நிற்கிறோம். நமது திராவிட மாடல் அரசு அனைவருக்கும் கல்வி, அனைவருக்கும் கல்லூரி கல்வி, அனைவருக்கும் ஆராய்ச்சி கல்வின்ற இலக்கோடு தான் சமூக நீதி புரட்சியை கல்வித்துறையில் நடத்தி வருது. இன்னார் தான் படிக்கணும்னு இருந்த நிலையை மாற்றி அனைவருக்கும் அனைத்து விதமான வாய்ப்புகளையும் உருவாக்கி தரோம். தமிழ்நாட்டு மாணவர்களை படிப்பிலும் வாழ்க்கையிலும் வெற்றிகளாக்க நான் முதல்வன் திட்டம் உருவாக்கப்பட்டு உள்ளது. உயர்கல்வி மாணவர்களின் சிந்தனைகளுக்கு ஊக்கமளிக்கும் வகையில் சிஎம் ரிசர்ச் கிராண்ட் ஸ்கீம், உயர்கல்வி மாணவர்களின் சிந்தனைகளுக்கு ஊக்கமளிக்கும் வகையில் சிஎம் ஃபெலோஷிப் ப்ரோக்ராம் ஆகிய திட்டங்கள் செயல்படுத்தப்படுகிறது. பெண் கல்வியை ஊக்குவிக்கும் பொருட்டு மூவலூர் ராமாமிர்தம் அம்மையார் உயர்கல்வி உறுதி திட்டம் எனும் புதுமை பெண் திட்டத்தின் மூலம் அரசு பள்ளியிலே படித்து கல்லூரிக்கு நுழைய 3,45,362 மாணவியருக்கு மாதந்தோறும் 1000 ரூபாய் வழங்கப்படுகிறது. தமிழ்நாடு மாணவர்கள் போட்டித் தேர்வுகள், ஆட்சிப்பணி தேர்வுகள், திறன் சார்ந்த தேர்வுகளுக்கு நாங்கள் தயார் செய்யும் பொருட்டு மதுரையில் கலைஞர் நூற்றாண்டு நினைவு நூலகம் அமைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கு. எனது கனவு திட்டமான நான் முதல்வன் திட்டத்தின் மூலம் 2 ஆண்டுகளில் 29 லட்சம் மாணவர்களுக்கும் 32,000 ஆசிரியர்களுக்கும் திறன் மேம்பாட்டு பயிற்சி வழங்கப்பட்டுள்ளது. ஒரு வருடத்தில் 1,40,000 இளைஞர்களுக்கு வேலைவாய்ப்பு ஏற்படுத்தப்பட்டுள்ளது. அரசு பள்ளி மாணவர்களுக்கு 7.5 விழுக்காடு இடஒதுக்கீடு வழங்கி அனைத்து தரப்பு மாணவர்களும் தொழிற்கல்வி கற்க வழிவகை செய்யப்பட்டுள்ளது. 2021-22, 2022-23, 2023-24 ஆகிய 3 கல்வி ஆண்டுகளில் இந்த இடஒதுக்கீட்டின் மூலம் 28,749 மாணவர்கள் பொறியியல், மருத்துவம், வேளாண்மை, சட்டம், மீன்வளம் மற்றும் கால்நடை மருத்துவம் ஆகிய படிப்புகளில் சேர்ந்துள்ளார்கள். இவர்களில் கல்வி கட்டணம், விடுதி கட்டணம், பேருந்து கட்டணம் அனைத்தையும் தமிழ்நாடு அரசு ஏற்றுக்கொண்டு 482 கோடி ரூபாய் செலவிடுகிறது. இது எல்லாமே தமிழ்நாட்டின் மாணவ சக்தியை அடுத்த கட்டத்துக்கு வளர்த்தெடுக்கிற முயற்சிகள். இன்றைக்கு பாரதிதாசன் பல்கலைக்கழகம் உலக பல்கலைக்கழகங்கள் தரவரிசை பட்டியலிலும் தேசிய தரவரிசை பட்டியலிலும் இடம்பெற்றுள்ளது. அப்படிப்பட்ட சிறப்புமிக்க இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் அமைந்துள்ள புரட்சி கவிஞர் பாரதிதாசன் சிலை, பொறியியல் மற்றும் தொழில்நுட்ப துறைகள், தமிழ் மையம் ஆகிய அனைத்தையும் தொடங்கினது நம்மோட திராவிட மாடல் அரசுதான்றதை பெருமையோடு குறிப்பிட்டு காட்ட விரும்புகிறேன். இப்படி உயர்கல்விக்கான அனைத்து உட்கட்டமைப்புகளை உருவாக்கியதன் விளைவாகத்தான் பாலிடெக்னிக் மாணவர் சேர்க்கையில் இந்தியாவிலேயே தமிழ்நாடு முதலிடம், PhD மாணவர் சேர்க்கையில் இந்தியாவிலேயே தமிழ்நாடு முதலிடம். இந்தியாவின் தலைசிறந்த 10 கலை அறிவியல் கல்லூரிகளாக தேசிய தரவரிசையில் உள்ள 35 கல்லூரிகள் தமிழ்நாட்டில் உள்ளன. இந்தியாவின் தலைசிறந்த 100 பல்கலைக்கழகங்களில் 22 பல்கலைக்கழகங்கள் தமிழ்நாட்டில் உள்ளன. இந்தியாவின் தலைசிறந்த 100 பொறியியல் கல்லூரிகளில் 15 பொறியியல் கல்லூரிகள் தமிழ்நாட்டில் உள்ளன. இப்படி பல்வேறு பிரிவுகளில் 146 கல்வி நிறுவனங்கள் அந்த பட்டியலில் இடம்பெற்றுள்ளது. 2022 மற்றும் 2023 ஆண்டுகளில் தமிழ்நாடு தேசிய தரவரிசை பட்டியலில் முதலிடம் பெற்றுள்ளது. 2023 ஆகஸ்ட் நிலவரப்படி தேசிய தரமதிப்பீட்டு கவுன்சிலின் தரவரிசை பட்டியலில் தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து 398 கல்லூரிகளும் 38 பல்கலைக்கழகங்களும் இடம்பெற்றுள்ளன. தமிழ்நாட்டில் மொத்தம் 1623 கலை அறிவியல் கல்லூரிகள் உள்ளன. இவற்றில் 242 மகளிர் கல்லூரிகள். இப்படி உயர்கல்வியின் பூங்காவாக தமிழ்நாட்டில் உள்ள பல்கலைக்கழகங்களும் தமிழ்நாடும் திகழ்கிறது. கல்வியில் சமூக நீதியையும் புதுமைகளையும் புகுத்துவதே பல்கலைக்கழகங்களின் நோக்கமாக இருக்க வேண்டும். அத்தகைய பல்கலைக்கழகங்களுக்கு சிறப்பான எதிர்காலம் உண்டு. இன்று பட்டம் பெறும் மாணவ கண்மணிகளே, நீங்கள்தான் நாட்டின் எதிர்காலம். சிறந்த அதிகாரிகளாக, தொழில் முனைவோர்களாக நீங்கள் தேர்ந்த துறையில் சிறந்து விளங்குங்கள். சமுதாயம் பெற்றோரும் உங்களுக்கு தந்த கல்வியை பயன்படுத்தி உங்கள் பெற்றோருக்கும் சமுதாயத்திற்கும் நாட்டிற்கும் உங்கள் சேவையை திரும்ப வழங்கிடுங்கள். முக்கியமாக சிறந்த மனிதர்களாக விளங்குங்கள். உங்கள் வெற்றிக்கு உறுதுணையாகும் பட்டங்களை வழங்கிய பல்கலைக்கழகத்திற்கும் நீங்கள் பட்டம் பெற காரணமான ஆசிரியர்களுக்கும் பெருமை தேடி தாருங்கள். இந்தியாவிற்கும் தமிழ்நாட்டிற்கும் புகழ் சேருங்கள். இதுதான் உங்கள் முதலமைச்சராகவும் தந்தையின் உணர்வோடு நான் வைக்கும் வேண்டுகோள் என்று கூறி என் உரையை நிறைவு செய்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
We humbly request the Honorable Prime Minister of India to present the gold medals to the graduates.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Indian and Other Languages, Faculty of Science, and degree of Master of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts in the Faculties of Science, Arts, Commerce, Indian and Other Languages, Management, who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degree and to be awarded the prize and medals. So, PhD in Tamil, Tiruchirapalli Sambandha Thambiran avargal, Dharmapuram Adinam Arts College, Mayiladurai. PhD in Chemistry, M. Malarvili, Bharathidasan University, Tiruchirapalli. Prizes and medals, Diwan Bahadur T.M. Narayanaswamy Pillai Birthday Centenary Celebration Endowment for M.A. Tamil G. Kirtika, Urumu Dhanalakshmi College, Tiruchirapalli. Professor M. Ravichandran, Endowment Gold Medal for MSc Environmental Science and Sustainable Management, P.S. Agil, Bharathidasan University. Srimati Sakuntala Narasimhan Gold Medal Award Endowment for B.A. Sanskrit, S. Lalita, Rajas College of Sanskrit and Tamil Studies. Nirmal Ghosh Magendran Gold Medal Endowment for BSc Chemistry, M. Meena, Chittalakshmi Ramaswamy College, Tiruchirapalli. Professor K.R. Hanumantan Medal for MA History, A. Kadal Bhakyam, Bharathidasan University. University Gold Medal, BSc Geology, D. Madhumida, Government Arts College, Karur. M.A. Dawood Basha Endowment Medal for BSc Visual Communication, James Fraudlin, Annai Velangani Arts College and Science, Tanjavur. Vidya Seva Ratnam Auditor K. Sandana Memorial Endowment for MBA, I.J. Martina Joyce, Bharat College of Science and Management, Tanjavur. Mr. Chancellor, under the laws of the university, I present unto you the candidate P. Shankida and other 2,81,031 candidates in absentia in the faculties of Science, Commerce, Education, Arts, Indian and Other Languages, Fine Arts, and Management who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive their degrees.
Thank you, sir. We humbly request the Honorable Prime Minister of India to deliver the convocation address.
Governor of Tamil Nadu, Thiru R.N. Raviji, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Thiru M.K. Stalinji, Vice Chancellor of the Bharathidasan University, Thiru M. Selvanji, my young friends, teachers, and support staff of the university. Vanakkam. Enad Manav Kudumbabe, being here at the 38th convocation ceremony of the Bharathidasan University is special for me. This is my first public interaction in 2024. I am happy to be in the beautiful state of Tamil Nadu and among young people. I am also glad to learn that I am the first Prime Minister to have the privilege of coming to a convocation here. I congratulate the graduating students, their parents, and teachers on this important occasion. Enad Manav Kudumbame, often the creation of a university is a legislative process. An act is passed and a university comes into being. Later, colleges are started under it. Then the university grows and matures into the hub of excellence. However, with Bharathidasan University, the case is slightly different. When it was created in 1982, many existing and prestigious colleges were brought under your university. Some of these colleges already had a track record of producing great people. So Bharathidasan University started on a strong and mature foundation. This maturity has made your university impactful in many domains, whether it is humanities, languages, science, or even satellites. Your university makes a unique mark. Enad Manav Kudumbame. Our nation and civilization have always been centered around knowledge. Some of the ancient universities, such as Nalanda and Takshashila, are well known. Similarly, there are references of places like Kanchipuram housing great universities, Gangai Cholpuram and Madurai were also great seats of learning. Students from across the world used to come these places. Enad Manav Kudumbame. Similarly, even the concept of a convocation is very ancient and well known to us. For example, take the ancient Tamil Sangam meeting of poets and intellectuals. In Sangams, poetry and literature were presented for the analysis of others. After analysis, the poet and their work were recognized by larger society. This is the same logic used in academia and higher education even today. So, My young friends, you are a part of a great historical tradition of knowledge. Enad Manav Kutumbame, universities play a crucial role in giving direction to any nation. When our universities were vibrant, our nation and civilization were vibrant too. When our nation was attacked, our knowledge system were targeted immediately. In the early part of the 20th century, people like Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya, and Sir Annamalai Chettiar started universities. These were hubs of knowledge and nationalism during the freedom struggle. Similarly, one of the factors behind the rise of India today is the rise of our universities. India is setting records in economic growth at the fastest growing major economy. At the same time, our universities are also entering global rankings in record numbers. Enad Manav Kudumbame, your university has awarded degrees to many of you today. Your teachers, family, friends, everyone is happy for you. In fact, if you are seen outside wearing your graduation gown, people will congratulate you, even if they do not know you. This must make you think deeply about the purpose of education and how society looks at you with hope. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore said that the highest education does not give us just information, but it helps us to live in harmony with all existence. The whole of society, including the poorest of the poor, played a role in bringing you to this important day. Therefore, giving back to them, creating a better society and country is the true purpose of education. The science you learn can help a farmer in your village. The technology you learn can help solve complex problems. The business management you learn can help run businesses and ensure income growth for others. The economics you learn can help work on reducing poverty. The languages and history you learn can help work on strengthening culture. In a way, every graduate here can help contribute to creating a developed India by 2047. Enad Manav Kutumbame, I am confident in the ability of young people to make the years till 2047 the most important in our history. Great poet Bharathidasan said, Udiyador Ulagam Sevyom. This is also your university's motto. This means let us create a brave new world. Indian youth are already creating such a world. Young scientists help us ship vaccines to the world during COVID-19. Indian science is on the world map through missions like Chandrayaan. Our innovators took the numbers of patents from around 4,000 in 2014. Balu is here. 4,000 in 2014 to almost 50,000 now. Our humanities scholars are showcasing the India story to the world like never before. Our musicians and artists are continuously bringing international awards to our country. Our athletes won record number of medals in Asian Games, Asian Para Games, and other tournaments. You are stepping into the world at a time when everyone is looking at you with new hope in every sector. Enat Manav Kudumbame, youth means energy. It means the ability to work with speed, skill, and scale. In the last few years, we have worked to match you in speed and scale so that we can benefit you. In the last 10 years, the numbers of airports had doubled from 74 to nearly 150. Tamil Nadu has a vibrant coastline. So you would be happy to know that the total cargo handling capacity of major ports in India had doubled since 2014. The speed of road and highway construction in the country has almost doubled in the last 10 years. The number of registered startups in the country has grown to almost 1 lakh. This was less than 100 in 2014. India has also sealed a number of trade deals with important economies. These deals will open up new markets for our goods and services. They also create countless new opportunities for our youth. Whether it is strengthening institutions like the G20, fighting climate change, or playing a bigger role in the global supply chain, India is being welcomed as a part of every global solution. In many ways, due to the local and global factors, this is the best time to be young in India. Make the most of this time to make our country to new heights. Enand Manav Kudumbame, some of you may be thinking that today is the end of university life for you. That may be true, but it is not the end of learning. You will not be taught by your professors anymore, but life will become your teacher. In the spirit of constant learning, it is important to proactively work on unlearning, reskilling, and upskilling. Because in a rapidly transforming world, either you drive change or change drives you. Once again, I congratulate the young people graduating here today. I wish you all the best for a bright future. Mikka Nanari.
We now request all the candidates to stand and take the pledge administered by the Honorable Governor Chancellor. We request the Honorable Governor Chancellor to administer the pledge to the candidates and to authorize the conferment of degrees and diplomas.
we shall, in thought, word and deed, ever and ever, to be scrupulously honest in the discharge of our duties in our profession, and shall uphold the dignity and integrity of our profession and the honor of our university. We shall uphold and advance social order and the well-being of our fellow citizens, and shall devote all our energy to promote the unity, integrity, and the secular ideals of our country. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of Bharathidasan University, I admit you to the several degrees of engineering and technology, science, commerce, education, arts, Indian and other languages, management and fine arts, for which you have been declared qualified in this university. And in token thereof, you have been presented with those degrees. And I authorize you to wear the robes ordained as the insignia of your degrees. Please sit down.
Let all the candidates be seated. We request the Vice Chancellor to present the register of graduates to the Honorable Chancellor and request the Governor Chancellor to sign the register. We request the Honorable Governor Chancellor to declare the convocation closed.
I dissolve this convocation.
Introducing Fresh Hot Grills. The goodness of fresh veggies, real cheese, and a buttery crust.
This has to be in the shots. This has to be in the shots.
Question. Do you think the TMC will give Mahua a ticket to fight?
Thank you very much.
2024. She will be a footnote in the pages of history.
Min Ali fi nari jahannama khalidina fiha ulaika hum sharu abrabriya. Man of the Year award लेके आए.
कहाँ से?
Look at him. Exposed right now.
But he's
resign.
Resign. Gender fluidity, भाई.
नहीं, जब मन किया तो ये तो नॉन वेजिटेरियन वाला हो गया.
What a bigot.
नॉन वेज आप चिकन पाड़ते हो, जब मन किया आप मटर पनीर ले लेते हो.
Biology is bigotry.
Tehseen, I've caught this hypocrite again. How can he as a woman be injured when a ball strikes the genitals?
Good point.
He has to be a man.
Don't have anything between their legs.
What?
Change.
Are you talking like the Chief Justice of India?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the Congress is not a political party that belongs to one person. It belongs to the people of this country.
It belongs to the family.
No, it belongs to the people of this country.
मैं आ रहा हूँ
Now, what are you?
भाई मैं आ रहा हूँ.
You can disagree on it. But that's the idea of the way Congress has presented itself.
If I want to say that, Anand is a blithering idiot, I will say, Arey Anand, you are the sun and the moon. You are the alpha and the omega. The nuclear fission that happens on the sun. It is not because of the hydrogen
atom splitting.
reaction. It is actually your farts coming out and igniting out in the
Can we
upper
please
altitude.
cut this?
Thank you guys. Thank you Anand. Thank you Tehseen. Thank you for coming. Abhijit, can I call you Abhijit? Okay, thanks for coming. Haan.
I'm Orijit, Orier,
Arafat.
Orietra.
Arafat.
Ori Arafat?
I'm Orijit Arafat.
Perfect.
Orijit Arafat.
Orijit Arafat.
Listen,
So how does
I am so disappointed. हमने सोचा था कि हमारा दोस्त होगा. He will be the hip and happening guy. This guy is such a loser. He's hanging around with people like us. The original Ori is hanging around with the
अमीरों का Ori है वो. ये गरीबों का Ori है.
See, I think of myself as the intellectual ka Ori.
Okay, that's nice.
Because let's face it, just one person out here, any one of us, has a higher IQ than all of Ori's friends put together.
Listen,
Just not the early
the
part.
only author among us is, I think, Anand.
Abhijit.
Haan.
How can we not meet my friend?
Ah.
Oh, my friend.
Are you guys meeting in the...
brother?
Oh, my friend. This is so beautiful.
Why are you using an Italian accent, brother?
Ina Allah Tina Kafru min Ali fi Nari Jahannama Khalidina Fiha Ola Ika Hum Sharu Abrabriya. Ina Allah Tina Kafru min Ali fi Nari Jahannama Khalidina Fiha Ola Ika Hum Sharu Abrahiya.
Acha, bus. This is not.
Hello.
How many times are they doing? Okay, I think Anand, this is not. ये कुछ हो रहा है. This is beyond.
Yeah. From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Ori will be free. Ori will be free. Ori will be free.
Okay, for our expat audience, if you don't know who Ori is, please Google and see. He's the latest thing. Okay, so this time, thank you for being part of the samosa, the real samosa caucus.
Yes.
Right, not that American version.
Oh, before I forget.
Haan.
I have to, although I have embraced him with a bear hug that a bear would be proud of, I have to expose the shameless hypocrisy of this guy. Shameless hypocrisy.
Poor thing.
How? मैं पहले ही शुरू कर देता हूँ.
See, such Islamophobia and homophobia happening on this podcast.
Poor thing.
So this guy identifies himself as a woman, right?
हाँ.
Yeah.
साला Man of the Year award लेके आए.
कहाँ से?
Look at him. Exposed right now.
But he's
resign.
GQ. He has gender fluidity, भाई.
नहीं, जब मन किया तो ये तो नॉन वेजिटेरियन वाला हो गया.
What a bigot.
नॉन वेजिटेरियन आप चिकन पाड़ते हो, जब मन किया आप मटर पनीर ले लेते हो.
Biology is bigotry.
How is it not fair?
That's called buffet.
Yeah,
No,
butter
once-
paneers of the world unite.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but listen. भाई ये हमने आपको तो नहीं रोका कि आप मटर पनीर खाओ. आप मटर पनीर आप खाते ही मटर पनीर हो. हम चिकन खाते हैं, हम मटर पनीर भी खाते हैं.
यही गड़बड़ है. चिकन पे
We are fluid in food.
But are you going to return the award? I'm sorry, you have to.
Why?
Are you going to return the Man of the Year award?
Why?
No.
हाँ, award वापसी.
Award वापसी यहीं से शुरू होनी चाहिए.
Award वापसी should
मैं
start.
क्यों reward करूं? I just want to thank Barkat Rehan for giving me International Man of the Year award.
This is ridiculous. He just
That
goes there.
I see many men are now competing in women's sports. Correct. So it's only right that women also compete in men's sports.
Bas,
And win.
Acha.
I agree.
See, what kind of bigotry are you giving me?
No, but
Apologize
men in
or
the-
I'll get up and walk out.
No, don't walk out.
Okay.
It's
No,
too
but
early for that.
women can compete.
Let him walk off from here. Where
Acha,
will he
before
go?
we start the
No,
topics,
but one second. Women
हम
can
कपड़ों
compete.
के बारे में बात
Women
कर
can
लें?
compete, but not in the second trimester.
So rude.
Very rude. Acha, can you please explain
I'm
your
having
outfit and then we'll go
first
to
trimester.
first explain your outfit today.
See, I'm wearing a fairan to express my solidarity with the oppressed people of Kashmir.
Okay.
I'm wearing a keffiyeh to express my solidarity with the oppressed people of Gaza. And I was also bringing a placard to express solidarity with one expelled MP, but it doesn't suit this
elite audience.
August gathering.
August gathering, yeah.
Okay. Commiserations. That's all I can say. Let's go to...
But sorry, the 2 MPs are suspended. Again,
Yeah,
you're
2.
very biased.
2.
You only stood up for one.
Sorry.
This is Islamophobic.
Yeah, it is.
You didn't
So
stand up for the
I
second.
want to stand up for both the MPs who have been expelled, one from Parliament and one from their party.
Yeah, because rise of fascism in India, right?
Yeah, because you know, I just wanted to highlight all the axis of Mahishasuristic fascism across the world.
Why are you
I'm
wearing
very, he's very Ori inspired, I'm very Ranveer Singh inspired. So Ranveer Singh, and I get that energy. So I'm very Ranveer Singh inspired, he's Ori inspired. Together we've got Bollywood out here, between Abhijit and me. The pants
Please, yaar, don't you know the latest word? What? It's not Bollywood, it's Urdu wood, if you would please.
Yeah.
Which are Urdu ke bhi. And people don't realize it's Urdu is Indian.
Urdu is Indian language.
फालतू में anyway हाँ अभी आएगा mentions में hate.
So when when Nidhi sent us the picture where we were shooting, I thought if I wear this, I can gel in.
Okay, perfect.
And my shoes. If anyone, this is a warning, anyone steps on my toes, this is for them.
See, he's intimidating us.
Yes.
He is.
मतलब
This
वो भी
is
तो
the
है
kind
that
of,
the spike on
what
his
Abhijit
hair
would call
is matching
The
the
spike on my
BDSM
head
or
is matching the
BDSM or
spikes on
whatever
my
it is.
BDSM.
BDSM.
The spikes on
The
his
shoes
shoes
were, yeah.
are matching the spike on his hair.
On my
The
hair.
spikes on his hair.
Yeah.
So it's all
Just spiky
He's wearing this full San Francisco Folsom get up.
and
Please
then now
catch
let's
the
go to
expression
the
on Sushant's face.
Because nobody here actually knows what the San Francisco Folsom Fair is.
And the Chandrayaan is landing out there.
Yeah.
It's shining.
Achha, but I really appreciate that all of you wear shoes today. There's no like it's chappal and sandal and shorts. ये
नहीं
एक
वो
बार
हमारे को
podcast-
पहले बोला गया था कि भाई आप ऐसे be well
ढंग के
dressed.
कपड़े।
ठीक-ठाक
तो
पहने।
घर में तो टीवी शो कर रहे होते ऊपर कोट पहना होता है नीचे शॉर्ट्स होती है.
You were told to be well dressed and you came like this.
No. This is winter.
As good as I could do, yeah.
No, he's very well dressed today.
यार एक बार ये हुआ था, you know, there was some television show. मैंने वही ऊपर तो पहना हुआ था ठीक ठाक कुछ, नीचे शॉर्ट्स पहनी हुई थी. And then they suddenly said that okay, we must stand up for something. I said, how can I stand up?
Shorts.
Then I kind of tried to adjust that camera and
I've got short
so
legs.
there's a Congress spokesperson. I'm not making this. A top Congress spokesperson who would wear a jacket or a shirt on top, and below he would wear shorts and sit on his debates.
Yeah, and the cameraman, being the cruel person that he is, took a long shot and posted it on social media. And that poor spokesperson.
He's not poor.
The
Let
rich,
me just tell you, he's not poor at
so
all.
So that poor in the sense.
We're using it metaphorically.
So,
He's a doctor also.
And that spokesperson has had several such instances
where people have posted videos and pictures.
Videos and posters. And you know, when such things happen, then you, at least for me, I can't then have eye contact with that person because I'm thinking of those visuals,
images.
those images.
But what's the moral of the story? Please treat your drivers with respect. That is the moral of the story. Yes. Don't do anything that you don't want your driver to post.
Correct.
And if you do things that you don't want your driver to post, please treat him with respect.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And then again, the elitist thing, just get drivers hote hain.
I don't have. I'm a
chauffeur.
I came in a cab.
Okay. Right. Okay, so now shall I pass this on so that, okay, so the new rules are that I don't get to ask the question and I'm not picking. So very democratic, in a fascist, homophobic, aage badho, whatever country that is.
This is not democracy. You've already decided the questions.
The question. No.
You've already put them out there and now you're asking us to pick. So you've already decided. You might
questions are from random suggestions which have been coming up that your next podcast, you might, one of the suggestions was please get Abhijit to smoke a cigar. Can you imagine? These are the kind of suggestions which came, but these
are
a
good idea. We should run it, no?
As long as you're only smoking the cigar and not doing anything else that anyone else did with cigars, with people in power.
Yes. You remember that meme with Bill Clinton?
The Bill Clinton.
Where he's sitting on a desk.
Okay, this is going in a direction. We need to keep this in a family entertainment, okay?
People of the 90s would know that there are two people in this photograph.
There is also a...
That's true.
There's also a cigar photo of Indian person, Indian politician with a cigar. We shall not go into that.
Do I start?
So
the cigar
you all
always
pick
gets
one.
you into trouble.
All of you pick one, and then just pick any. And then read it, and then we'll start with
It's
Sushant.
random, Abhijit. You don't need to do that.
हाँ, just pick it.
Do I also pick one?
वो आटे की तरह गूंद रहा है उसको. हाँ, pick one. Pick.
Two.
Pick, and Sushant, we'll begin with him.
Perfect.
Left to right.
Thank you.
You have one or two? ठीक है?
Look at him. He picked two. देख लेता कौन सा वाला.
हाँ.
Tougher है. मुझे तो सवाल पूछने हैं ना.
So we begin, कोई नहीं. We begin and then everybody can chip in. हाँ, Sushant, हाँ, आप start करो.
The new breed of Indian commentations, historians, J.S.I. Deepak, Sanjeev Sanyal, Amish.
Commentarians or commentarians, पता नहीं कोई जो भी.
Commentations लिखा हुआ है.
Commentators.
यार जो मेरे को अंग्रेजी पढ़नी आती है यार.
समझ में
किसने लिखा है? कौन है?
पढ़ा लिखा आदमी है यार, इतना भी बुरा नहीं हूँ.
हाँ, think tank करे भाई, सबसे ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिखा है.
नहीं, think tank में पढ़े लिखे होने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती. Do you think they have been impactful in shaping the India story?
हाँ.
Look, I think they're starting to make a difference. There is, and not just the big names. These are big names.
Yeah.
J.S.I. Deepak, Sanyal, Vikram Sampath. Sampath has done some groundbreaking work. And I think they've done remarkable work. They are pushing forward the debate which is now starting in this country, or which has started. They're pushing it forward. They are challenging the, some of the old myths that have been constantly propagated. They're challenging it. But I think we still have a very long way to go before they can actually start shaping the narrative. It's a very good start, but I think what is actually shaping the narrative is, along with these guys, there's an entire bunch of people on social media, nameless, faceless people who come up with remarkable information. And this is not WhatsApp University. Many of them actually give references to whatever they are quoting. And people are free to go and check. Many of them actually put snapshots of what they are, quoting. And that is actually challenging that old framework which had been made, which was that nice, कि everything was अच्छा यहाँ पर, ये 2014 हुआ, then everything went to seed. India was living in peace and harmony and everything was so nice and peaceful. Those things are now being challenged. So in some ways, social media is extremely toxic, but in many ways, it's extremely democratic. And it has brought in new voices which would have otherwise been suppressed and repressed in the media space because, the media gatekeepers never allowed people to come in. But I think the good scholarly work which is being done by these new scholars is quite remarkable. But I think it'll take another maybe a decade or more before really the narrative can be shaped.
Yeah. Abhijit, do you agree?
Can I? Before
Anand,
Abhijit. Oh, sorry. It's related to
the
question.
Yeah, related to his question.
Then please.
So that's what I thought.
Sure.
Let's all go through the same questions.
Got it.
And then, so Abhijit, do you agree with this? Because, you go to Litfests. Anand also goes to those Litfests. And so do you. You've been doing, all of you guys have been saying what you've been saying for quite some time. But the invites never came your way. It's only now that the invitation is coming. You guys are getting a voice in the sense that you did speak about it, you did write about it, but you didn't appear on TV, you didn't come to those Litfests. Those voices are being heard now. Do you agree with that? And do you think it's a new thing? And does one have to thank Mr. Modi and the new administration which has come into power?
1 second.
2014?
I don't think you should give credit to Mr. Modi because this government has not done this.
Yeah.
What has happened is that a climate has been created where people's voices are now being aired.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't give this government any credit.
Okay.
It's just technology and some other things which changed, which allowed these voices to come up.
Exactly.
Do you think it would happen if there was another government? Sorry. Would it happen if there was, say, hypothetically, there was an opposition?
It hadn't happened in the last 65 years.
But they didn't have the technology and the democratization.
They might not have had the technology, but they had the newspapers, for example. When did the newspapers allow any kind of alternate
even with
viewpoint?
newspapers, it was a complete... So, today, when we're looking at Israel, for example, there is not one news channel or newspaper that's reporting accurately. Not one, left or right. Not one is reporting accurately on what's happening out there.
You mean Indian newspapers or globally?
Globally.
Okay.
Globally. You actually have to go to the internet, and it's almost like doing primary research, because Twitter is kind of primary research. It's people speaking with their own voices with what they're seeing, and you're seeing how different that is from narratives being generated left and right. Right? Number one. Number two, remember 2014 coincided also with the takeoff of social media, which was responsible to a large extent to bringing down the previous government and truly expressing the feeling of the people. Because remember, Modi was probably the first prime minister who used to directly. Now his Twitter handles become very boring. Well, now for the last 2 days, 2-3 days,
it's become very interesting.
Emojis, it's become very interesting.
Emoji hai to mumkin hai.
Emoji hai to mumkin hai. But before that, for the previous 9 years, it's been a very boring Twitter handle. The spark that he had before 2014 because now he has to act very responsibly being...
No, I think after that Modi melody, I think
after melody it's become very light.
It's become very light and
हमारे जॉर्जिया ने उनका दिल खोल दिया.
हमारे जॉर्जिया हो गई अब.
हमारी जॉर्जिया
पता नहीं यार.
सोनिया जी आपकी नहीं हुई, जॉर्जिया आपकी हो गई. ये गलत है. I'm taking offense.
मैंने कभी भी बोला है कि जॉर्जिया सोनिया हमारी नहीं है.
नहीं, मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपको.
नहीं, मैं
आपका ये जो इकोसिस्टम है, मुझे इस पर
नहीं, मैं सोनिया को भी मैं मानता है वो हिंदुस्तानी है और जॉर्जिया भी हिंदुस्तानी है. देखो, जो इटालियन लोग होता है
माइनो मीडिया से हो गए. देखो, फ्रॉम माइनो मीडिया नाउ योर मेलनी मीडिया.
नो देखो, मैं
दैट्स अ नाइस वन. दैट्स अ नाइस वन.
मैं क्या मानता है कि वो जो इटालियन लोग हैं वो नॉर्थ पंजाब है. ओके, वो लोग पंजाबी की तरह होता है.
There is no North Punjab. There is East Punjab and West Punjab.
अरे इटली नॉर्थ पंजाब है. वो पंजाबी लोग की तरह होता है. जिंदगी जीता है, जिंदगी एंजॉय करता है,
लिव लाइफ,
बहुत खुल्लम खुल्ला प्यार करता है. खुल्लम खल्ला प्यार करेंगे हम दोनों. And then it's
okay. So you lost me.
They're like
come back.
They're like the Italians. So I consider them all this thing. Third important thing in all of this that has happened is, the kind of people have forgotten how repressive the previous UPA regime was. Right, you remember all those nuclear protesters, what happened to them near Kudangulam. People have forgotten, how many journalists were put on a watch list, debarred from social media, this, that. Do you remember? Shivarur and Co, Kanchan Gupta were all on that watch list and things. That has been, there's actually been a lifting of the mahal of fear.
You think that
Next,
because journalists don't say that anyway?
Next, what has happened is because of social media, all the narratives have started coming out and people are seeing that you can make money. So a market opportunity has opened up in which the right-wing voices opposing the government rather the socialist sort of Nehru-Gandhian tradition that has been here are also being heard, which is resonating not just in the electoral this thing but also the narrative thing.
Okay.
Fifth, remember all the old lit fests and media houses still keep everybody out. Let's be very clear about it. They create they create special purpose vehicles so that the twain shall not meet. One is the elite one, which is all the Rambagh Palace suites. The other one is the chota one where Trident single bedroom mil jata hai. ठीक है?
His definition of poverty is Trident single bedroom. That's the definition of poverty.
Breakfast included.
I mean, Trident is poverty level, yeah?
Yeah, compared to Rambagh.
ये किसने बोला ये गरीबों का और ही है?
I'm astounded. Yes. You are the rich man. Yeah, तुम अमीर गौरी हो.
No, but it's the truth. And so in that, I think we have to give Modi his due. Maybe Modi did not do it directly, but Modi is a sort of enabler of all.
That's what even when I said Modi, I didn't mean like Modi opened it all up. But what I mean is that the right wing got a voice. So now you have that equality. A left wing which has been, which had a stranglehold over the narrative for so many years. And then
last
now you
point.
have.
But
yeah, sure.
That said, I think that, since very specific names were mentioned, Sanjeev Sai and all these people, we're still in reactive mode because we're fighting back against them. You understand? We have not come to the narrative setting that drives them crazy. The left has a very strategic tactic that they ignore you completely.
Okay.
They pick all the budhus and bhondus and morons from the right and tend to showcase them as representatives of the right. This has traditionally been their technique, that they will completely ignore all the serious voices coming out of there and pick and highlight. And
but that's the case even in, say, America, when the right wing, the left wing will say that we are the intellectual elite, whereas the right wing is represented by a Trump.
And the problem is, the right still has this need for validation of the left.
What I was about to say.
Right, because remember, the right in this country is the socially upwardly mobile people. It was Narasimha Rao's reforms that created the BJP victory technically. Right, that was what created the middle class, which turned nationalistic and wanted the BJP in power. So in many ways, these are a creation of the 1990s, which seek the validation of the 1960s walas. 1950s.
अब फिर से वही शुरू हो जाएगा that Narasimha Rao was the closet BJP prime minister.
Which he was. I mean, what is wrong in admitting to it?
No problem.
Absolutely not. What are you talking about? The two most draconian anti-Hindu decisions or acts to have been perpetrated by any prime minister were done by Narasimha Rao.
Supported by BJP.
That's not the thing. No? You just said he's a closet
BJP. The
Places of Worship
fell
Act
during Narasimha Rao's tenure.
Places of Worship Act and the Waqf Act. The two most draconian anti-Hindu acts ever to have been promulgated were done by Narasimha Rao.
BJP walked out. Had BJP not walked out, the Congress never had the numbers. This was a deal done, and
it was a deal.
You would know about this, and you would know because you at least covered Parliament. The Congress never had the numbers, so it would never have passed had the BJP not walked out. It wasn't possible. This let's give the BJP credit where it's due, but also accept that the BJP was also a part of this. Maybe it politically benefits the BJP today, but they did walk out. And
in politics, you have to make these kind of deals. If you want to make politics work, I know where you are coming from, Anand. And there's a lot to agree with you on what the points which you raise. But in the rough and tumble of politics, either you can then be so polarized that you are going hammer and tongs at each other and then a system collapses. Or you have to find some kind of via media where you can make things work. There will be many people who will be on your side who will say Narasimha Rao was, for want of a better phrase, Hindu-phobic. I would say that's a gross exaggeration.
No, he was not.
He was not. In fact,
I'm not saying he was Hindu-phobic. I'm just saying
the administration.
Most people say that he was the.
But Anand, you say that even about the current administration.
Anand, that's why I said.
Anand,
so let me tell you something.
Get Anand
but I wanted to come back to.
No, 1 second. Let me just make one point, and then I'll hand over the floor to you. The Congress party was a lot more Hindu nationalistic,
correct,
right, and nationalistic also. Than maybe what even the BJP was, or the old BJP, the Jan Sangh or whatever you want to call it, right? This Congress party is not even, it's. I think it's a travesty to call it the old Congress.
I absolutely agree with Sushant out here. The original Congress. The original.
नहीं जी नहीं बोलना मोदी जी ने बोला था मोदी जी ने बोला था जी नहीं बोलना सिर्फ मोदी बोलना है
I don't want to offend anyone. सिर्फ मोदी बोल सकते हैं या नरेंद्र बोल सकते हैं मोदी ही बोलना है
I don't know.
You are going to be in the doghouse no matter what you say.
दोनों साइड से नहीं तो मोदी जी सुशांत जी नरेंद्र जी Anand ji, but jokes apart.
2G mat bolna.
2G no 2G 3G. But no, Congress was the Hindu nationalistic party. I completely agree. And in fact, that was the allegations on the Congress. That is to what were Mahatma Gandhi's
which
last
is why the Guy Bachada was taken off at one point of time.
What was Mahatma Gandhi's last words?
Arey, don't go back.
No, I'm serious.
Ab ye WhatsApp wala.
Nobody knows what his last words were.
So the Congress
I know
was
what his not the last words were, but what he actually said. Yeah, second last.
I think his
that if the Muslims want to kill all Hindus, then they should be allowed to kill all Hindus and we will usher in a new world. That was
no, Gandhi had his idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, but I wanted to. अच्छा तहसीन की बारी नहीं आई है.
तहसीन की हो रही ना अभी तहसीन की बारी फिर आपकी बारी.
See, the problem is when you get
हो चुकी है इसकी बारी.
When you get shot, people don't realize it completely punches the air out of you. You can't even say anything. Do you know that?
Acha, ठीक है, let him.
Especially if you're
now
shot
we've
in the
already
chest.
gone into
Trust
assassination
me.
of Gandhi.
Trust me, those of you who
Within
have
the
played...
first
अच्छा यहाँ
15
पर forensic
minutes.
science का examination नहीं हो रहा है.
Those of you who have played tennis and got a ball
I
between
played
the legs,
Not got it.
know that you can't
played
speak for the
tennis.
next. You can't speak for the next 2-3 minutes.
What kind
Now-
of tennis
now-
do
now
you
a
play
bullet
to
to
get a
the
ball
chest.
between your legs? I
Do you
also
think he
don't
plays
understand.
anything?
What are you doing with your racket that you're getting?
Arey, sometimes you have to fend like this, that, and all
What
of
kind
that.
of fending are you doing like this?
Do
and
you
like
think
that?
he have a
Abhijit,
Tehseen, do you
one
think he
second,
has ever
Abhijit,
played?
that
No,
is
but
not
next second
tennis.
I've caught him
Fending
again.
like
No,
this and like
Tehseen,
this is not
Tehseen.
tennis. We have a woman
no,
here, not tennis.
Silence, Tessin. I've caught this hypocrite again. How can he, as a woman, be injured when a ball strikes the genitals?
Good point.
Why
He has to
women
be a
don't
man.
have anything between their legs.
What?
Change.
Are you talking like the Chief Justice of India?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now
Fine
please.
then.
That's on the net.
point you were making.
Yes.
Can we get back to Narasimha Rao first of all?
I think Narasimha Rao was a fantastic prime minister that India had. And you have to look at all
Did he
prime
deserve
ministers.
a burial ground?
All. We have to
samadhi?
I'll come to that. All prime ministers or all leaders should be looked in perspective, different perspectives. Nobody is black or white. There's shades of grey. I think what he did for this country economically deserves kudos. He did take a very tough decision against protests by the BJP to open up the economy, stood by it, and I think hindsight's always 20/20. Of course, you make mistakes in while you're a prime minister. Current prime ministers made mistakes. In your show, Mr. Mishra accepted demonetization. They didn't expect. So look, you have to look at the intention. You could look at the larger goal. You can politics on the errors people make, and that's fine. But if you ask me, is any prime minister anti-national? No. Is any prime minister wanting bad of A community or B community? No. Every single prime minister, once you're sitting on that chair, all you want is for India to do well, irrespective of what party or ideology you come from.
Yeah, you might make the wrong.
You could make, and that's life. Yeah. You make wrong calls. History judges you. History judges everybody. But what do you do when you sit on the chair? And I am not willing to believe that any prime minister will put India in a dock. Any prime minister. Not intentionally. That's not true.
So now it's become like Chinese whispers. Start कोई और topic पे था.
आपने नरसिम्हा राव पूछा. Topic क्या था वैसे मैं भूल गया.
Topic was
narratives.
The new historians.
Where the new historians have got the. Never mind. Let's Anand
Yeah, but
answer
I mean वही हो गया ना कि इतना time हो गया कि I wanted to come to
sure,
his topic, but I need to इतनी ज़्यादा बीच में गलतियाँ होती
पहले
जाती हैं like
उसको
a
answer करके
tumbleweed
फिर
which is
वापस
slowly-
मेरे पास आ
कोई नहीं. हाँ.
So when he says intentionally no prime minister will make, fair enough, granted that. पर यार एक मिस्टेक करे, कोई दो करे, 20 करे, 30 करे तो there is some problem ना. अब नेहरू तक जाओगे तो मतलब 20-30 मिस्टेक्स करे तो then something is wrong. समझ रहे हो आप? चाइना को वो दे देना, कहना कि हम नहीं बनेंगे सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल के, चाइना को बन, so many things.
This security council is a WhatsApp forward, bro. It's a WhatsApp forward.
I have quoted from Nehru's book. So
yes, but there was no formal. What you don't quote is there was no formal proposal ever. यार किसी ने मुझे सुशांत जी ने आकर बोल दिया आपको.
सुशांत जी ने नहीं बोला था.
सुशांत जी ने आकर
प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ अमेरिका बोला. आपको रशिया ने, सोवियत यूनियन ने बोला.
किसी ने भी बोला फॉर्मल इनविटेशन. आप मुझे एक डॉक्यूमेंट बता दीजिए जो फॉर्मल था. There was no formal invitation.
That's not
second. Because allow me just 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds.
One second, because this is very important.
10 seconds.
There are informal conversations which once you are sounded out, if you're open to it,
then you take it to the
becomes a formal stage.
First,
shall I quote him?
One second. First, even in an informal, there was no formal invitation ever, which he said on the floor of Parliament. Number two, the China that he voted for, or the China that come in was Tibet. Was not the was Tibet, was not
Taiwan.
Yeah, Taiwan. Sorry, my bad. Taiwan.
No.
Was Taiwan. Was not this China.
No.
Yes.
Oh my
Taiwan
God.
came
Yeah,
in.
bhai,
This particular.
You're wrong.
No,
You're wrong.
Taiwan
I've
came
seen
in.
you're wrong.
Taiwan
was already a member.
Yes, so that was the one that was.
अच्छा, one
no,
second.
Taiwan was
A
the one
point
that
of order, madam. Madam President.
मेरा phone भी लियो.
Madam President, point of order.
मेरा phone भी लियो.
Madam President,
मैं पहले कोट कर देता
एक
हूँ.
मिनट, point of order तुम्हारे लिए बात कर रहा हूँ. देखो last time हमारा जब हुआ था, everybody craved कि आनंद जब भी कुछ बोलता है तो हम लोग सब लोग इंटरप्ट करते हैं and we break his chain of thought. So now for the next 3, 4, 5 minutes, Anand, you have the floor. I have taken over charge and given you the floor. After that, I hand over the.
हाँ, आनंद को बोलने दो. पता है आनंद को नहीं बोलने देते.
हाँ, कोई मुझे मैं इतना बेचारा.
You will not interrupt Tehseen.
I'm like Rahul Dravid. Good guys.
You let him say it.
And he's like Yasser Arafat.
Victim card has come out.
He looks like, he's looking very, how shall I say this?
Now that you're wearing
now you're wasting your time.
Letters for a nation from Jawaharlal Nehru to his chief ministers. Okay, this is quoting.
Correct.
Informally, suggestions have been made by the United States that China should be taken into the United Nations but not in the Security Council, and that India should take her place in the Security Council. We cannot, of course, accept this, as it means falling out with China, and it would be very unfair for a great country like China not to be in the Security Council. We have therefore made it clear to those who suggested that we cannot agree to this suggestion. We have even gone a little further and said that India is not anxious to enter the Security Council at this stage, even though as a great country she ought to be there. The first step to be taken is for China to take her rightful place, and then the question of India might be considered separately, unquote. This is your Prime Minister saying this.
I'll tell you what the Prime Minister said in Parliament. Give me a minute. Yeah, you finish, I'll give you.
Now, 1 second.
Okay, now what
Paji
you were
said,
saying.
yeah. So now what I'll do, I still have 4 minutes left.
Yes.
I will use them to come back to your question, what you started with, but I will give this next floor to you so that you can expand on this and teach all of us, especially Tehseen, as to what the truth for this is.
On this?
Yes.
You want me to come?
Yes.
No. The fact of the matter is that it shows a kind of a naivety as far as international relations is concerned. There are no friends in international relations, right? No country is a friend of yours. Your own country is your only friend. Your own country's interests are the only interests you have to protect. No other country's interest do you have to protect. If the Prime Minister of India did not understand that, I will not accuse him of betrayal or treachery or any such thing. That's nonsense. But I would certainly accuse him of a certain amount of naivety as far as international relations are concerned, or this, overweening kind of an ambition to appear like a statesman. So I accuse him of that. The other thing is, and Abhijit I think made the correct point, that mostly what happens is that people will sound you out informally. They will ask you that we are planning to do this. Will you be on board? What do you think about it? After that, they go on to the
Sure, there's an
stage.
entire mechanism in place before it goes.
But if I start the process and then in front of the world stage you come out and say, "Nayi, I'm not interested in what you're offering me," then I make a jackass of myself. So this was a blunder of great proportions by the first Prime Minister. But it was out of naivety, not out of malice.
But again, you see, let me quote Ambedkar now, because people can say, "Look, hum sangi hain," jo bhi hai. I'm now quoting Ambedkar verbatim. Quote, this is in 1951, October 1951. "The other center of our foreign policy which has made other nations our enemies is China. India is made to fight China's battle for entry in the United Nations organization as a permanent member thereof. This is an extraordinary thing. Why should India fight the battle of China when China is quite capable of fighting her own battle? This championing of the cause of communist China by India has been responsible for the prevailing antagonism between India and America, with the result that it has become impossible for India to obtain financial and technical aid from America. India's first duty should be to herself. Instead of fighting to make communist China a permanent member of the UNO, India should fight for getting herself recognized as a permanent member of the UNO."
Brilliant.
Unquote. This is Ambedkar.
Okay.
Now, will you say Ambedkar is also Sangi?
Now, first of all, I've known use the word Sangi. Now, this is what Nehru says.
Please, this is
terrible.
a discussion which we had yesterday, Anand and
I love being called Sangi.
No,
it's become a positive connotation.
There is a Sangi, and the worst thing is that Musangi.
Yeah,
what is Musangi?
Muslim Sangi. So if there is a Muslim who is not vitriolic, मतलब वो कहीं पे centrist है.
नहीं, Musangi is not that.
Hello,
Musangi is Musangi is the other side who trolls the centrist. So the Sangi who trolls the centrist and the Musangi trolls the Sangi.
Disgusting.
But okay, let me read Nehru. Nehru's reply. Now 1 second. Let me read Nehru in Parliament. "There has been no offer, formal or informal, of this kind to UNSC. Some vague references have appeared in the press about it, which have no foundation in fact. The composition of the Security Council is prescribed by the UN Charter, according to which certain specified nations have permanent seats. No change or addition can be made to this without an amendment of the Charter. There is, therefore, no question of a seat being offered and India declining it. Our declared policy is to support the admission of all nations qualified for UN membership. Further to this, let me make it clear. Till 1972,
what
Taiwan.
was the date and what was the date? What date was this written on?
This was in the 60s, 28th September 50 something, 58, 15. After
date
this.
ka pata nahi, but Nehru is
58,
contradicting
And
himself
when is
because
when is that? And
the language of that.
So
I don't know.
so I'll tell you the reference to
Nehru,
this.
these
Is
are
right.
Nehru's
No, 1
words.
second. This is right. Nehru writes this. I'm not denying it. This is in context of the Russian ambassador to India offering this to Nehru, but Nehru asks him that will the US, because you also need the US support, will the Western Bloc accept it? So that would not have happened. This is in context of that. In the other context that Nehru says, he says, look, if we were to go ahead with this creates a divide between China and India, the new China
and
that
we
is
had
to come
such good
in.
relations with China.
Yeah,
very
then
soon.
which he was trying to make. Now you can again historically say, look, he made a blunder. I agree with that. But what was the intention? You wouldn't have got either of the two blocks. The two blocks
Now
are
let
not
me
supporting
get
him.
back.
हम intention से ना हम उसके mind में जा रहे हैं
तो फिर वर्तमान प्रधानमंत्री
there's
या
some
वर्तमान
shades
सरकार
of
के
grey
क्या
out
उचित
here.
हम
देखते हैं?
intention का नहीं. See, when we
देखो,
talk
ये
about
problem here
when we
is-
talk about demonetization, are we going to go into the intention?
then
of
you
Mr.
rationalize
Modi?
every
No.
decision,
Then
yeah.
everything. हाँ, it's like saying ना
Yeah,
वो
मतलब-
दिल का
So then-
emergency को
so then-
rationalize कर
अब
दोगे.
वो
नहीं,
दिल का
बिल्कुल नहीं
वो
करवाएंगे
दिल का
emergency.
बुरा
गलत
नहीं है
है,
मानता
गलत
अपनी
है।
बीवी को ठीक है.
Salman Khurshid has
Sorry,
rationalized
I'm
even
not going into
emergency.
intention. Can I just contextualize both of
Please.
this? Because there are shades of grey.
Correct.
Nehru, even in the shades of grey, Nehru does not look good. And I'll tell you why. See, the problem here was the driving the driving factor of Indian foreign policy inherited from the British is that no single power bloc should monopolize the resources or territory of the Eurasian landmass. To this end, the British policy was our inherited foreign policy, which was divide and rule. You never let Russia and China get together. You always had to keep them divided, number one. Number two, at this point, China was always a permanent member right from the beginning, but that was the Republic of China, not the People's Republic of China, which is to say Taiwan and not mainland China.
Till
The
72.
proposal was that there would be, the charter would be changed, etc., and India would be made, but that was not conveyed clearly. So it was a question of Taiwan ya China.
Correct.
Where, failing China not becoming a member, Nehru wanted China inserted as an additional party or whatever in of that. Third, what happened out here was, he was wrong. He was right in the sense that pitting China against Russia in that sense, which this would have done, it prevented us. This way China would see us as a good party and Russia would see us as a good party. But he was foolish in that intangible actions like this, feelings of bhaichara and brotherhood, would somehow trump cold hard realpolitik that the Chinese practiced. He thought he could do all of this and get away with what the Chinese saw as encroachment in their territory. Okay. The next thing he did was, he was not a good communicator. India's love saying that he was a fantastic communicator.
Nehru
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
a good
I think Nehru
communicator.
was a
On
brilliant
foreign
communicator.
policy, he was one of the worst. You know why? All you had to do and go tell the Americans are, boss, we're playing divide and rule. Can you please let us play divide and rule out here? You are fine with the British playing divide and rule. Why are you not fine with us playing divide and rule?
Okay, so
Okay.
you know about being a
He
communicator.
could not do that.
What
He
we
could
have
not-
always,
he did
what
not
we've
listen to the
always done is
Chinese, nor
a-
could he convey to the
A good
Chinese.
orator is always mistaken as a good communicator. The two doesn't. They
They do
don't
not-
need
they
to
do
be
not
the
go
same.
together.
Okay, so there I grant that.
But can I have my 3 minutes back?
Yes, can we get back to that?
Yes.
Yeah, on the topic that
On
Sushant.
yes.
सारे जहां के